All right, let's go over the instructions for this assignment. So for this project, we're only focusing on the desktop design. I want you to think about the different types of layouts and the structures that would be useful based on your selected audience. Of course, everybody selected a different audience type for this apartment complex, and what the style or the vibe of that apartment complex might require as far as layout. Again, if you're designing kind of a high-rise apartment complex in the city, well, that might allow you to have a little bit more modern approach. But if you're designing for maybe a more family-friendly atmosphere for families in the suburbs, well, then maybe your approach is a little bit more traditional. And so in this project, we're trying to meet your audience where they're at with the type of things you've already selected and identified for your apartments. And so based on your selections, I'd encourage you to push the envelope or to keep it a little bit more traditional based off of that. But again, we're looking for the different types of layout and structure for your site. Challenge yourself to think creatively, leveraging what you know about now balancing photography and typographic hierarchy with the grid layout, the things that we've learned along the way. You're going to be submitting your final wireframes that look polished and professional, packaged together like we just talked about in those highlighted examples. And remember, like I said, these are going to be great portfolio pieces to showcase the breadth of your work, to show it as a case study. Myself as a hiring manager, those would be the types of deliverables that I would want to see for somebody that I'm interviewing for a UI UX position, that clean, polished, professional looking piece. And so that's what we're striving for in this class. A couple of things around the requirements. So we're submitting a PDF again. The number of pages is going to be probably different, but it should match the number of pages you identified and cover everything that you're submitting as far as your IA map goes. And so some folks might have, plus or minus 1 or 2 pages based off what they've selected. Make sure you're including all the required content that's needed. So, about the apartment complex, the different photo galleries, the different floor plans, and so on. Those are all highlighted for you. The name of the guidelines should be similar to what we've done in the past. And then your UI dimensions. We're sticking with the 1366 pixels wide. Your breakpoint or your fold line is 768 pixels tall. And again, your content is going to go well below, I can guarantee you, the 768 pixel tall mark. Make sure you include from navigation or header to footer. And again, we're only focusing on desktop only because after wireframes, we're going to be going into actually making a clickable prototype. Let me just also say that remember how you present your work really matters. And so it matters for yourself as a portfolio and showing this as the entirety of your work for this assignment. It also is important if you're actually going to be in front of a business partner or you're doing this as a freelance perspective. You wouldn't want to just send somebody over, really, not high quality photos from your phone. You'd want to, make sure you take the time to either scan it or take a really great quality picture of your phone where it's free of distraction or clutter around it. And so I think in each of these examples here, you see that they zoomed in, just to their sketchbook, just to their paper, and took those photos of their wireframes and then presented it in a way from that PDF that could be really easy to shoot over to a potential client or colleague to get some feedback on. And so just want to encourage y'all, if you didn't get a chance to in the last project or didn't focus on it, is to take this extra step in a format that is professional, that is clean, that is just focusing on the wireframes and not kind of some of the distractions that might be behind the photo. So there's different ways you can do that. You can get closer to it with your camera. You can scan it, just your paper. You can also just crop it in a little tighter as well. And so I think these are 4 examples of folks who did a good job at that here in project number 1's wireframes.